In June 2019, I took to the road to ask people from all over the country about their dreams. I thought I would be learning about them, but I'm also learning about myself. Join me and see what you find out about yourself as you listen to other people answer the 3 dream questions. This is Josh, and he's agreed to answer the 3 dream questions.
I have.
Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, the first question, Josh, is what are your dreams? What are your hopes and aspirations?
Well, I guess my real core ambition and the dream that I keep coming back to is really health for myself and health for my family, and to live with a future, really. I mean, my anxiety around global politics and technology caused me to really appreciate the moment that I'm living in, and I guess that's really my biggest dream.
When you're talking about global politics and technology, what is that all about?
I mean, I feel like we've come to a place where it's so horrifying. You know, it's just so horrifying what we consider a good democracy and good structure for human beings to live in, and I think.
Well, let me see if I'm understanding. I think I'm hearing that what's happening is we're coming to accept something horrifying as being normal.
I think that we're coming to a place where we're really desensitized because of. I think in large part because of the way that we consume things and the way that we consume especially technology. I think we live in a world that seeks to distract us and entertain us. And but you know, at the same time, it's really an exciting time because I feel like we're reaching a tipping point in terms of capitalism, in terms of how we want to work and how we want to, I don't know, just live. I think the most exciting thing for me right now is thinking about just having a really good day, especially with my family, and having a good day with people that I love, having good food. I feel like when I was younger and in my 20s, I had some really big dreams, so big ambitions and dreams.
That's good. Let's go back then.
Sure.
Let's talk about that. That's the second question. Maybe we can wrap that into the first question again. Is you remember some of your earlier aspirations and dreams, and why and how have they changed?
So I guess when I was a child, I really wanted to do engineering, like structural engineering. And when I got older, I noticed that I really loved art, so I wanted to find something to do in terms of art. And for a little while, I was into journalism, and I was really into poetry for a little while. And then I found out that that's like a dead end. You know, poetry is pretty dead, but I come back to it anyway because it's good for
dead end. And it doesn't
there's no professional poet. You know, there's no like English speaking poet. But then I was into media and doing media studies, and that was really exciting because it felt like I was right on the edge of art, right at the edge of art.
So you got a place to combine some of the stuff you've been doing in the
I combined some of my writing and did some scripts, and it was exciting. And then I had my first child, and that really changed me. I remember when she was born, I took a shower, and I remember that I felt shattered. You know, like I felt like I was being reborn, totally broken, and then reborn in that shower, and just really figuring out what I wanted to do and how I would help my family. And so I decided to do something that I knew that I didn't want to do, which was to teach. My dad was a teacher, and I knew how stressful it could be, and but I was really enthusiastic about teaching, and I had gone to a Waldorf school, so I knew I wanted to be a Waldorf teacher. It was multidisciplinary. It had a good arts integration. It seemed like a good fit.
And you got to be with the same kids for 10, 12 years at some time.
Right, yeah. So I grew up in a big family, and being around children and around people was enticing to me. And I was well suited for it. I liked it a lot, and I became really obsessed with it, and I became obsessed with education reform and thinking about charter schools and how we could change education in general. I thought it was really sickening the way that we're still basing ourselves on this industrial model of education. The school bell rings, we sit down, we do low-grade bureaucratic work for about 8 hours, and then we send them home and tell them to do another hour of homework before they come back and do it again 5 days a week. And it really nauseated me because I knew that, and all the current research knows that having an active lifestyle that's balanced really serves the children best academically. So if you engage their gross motor skills as well as their fine motor skills and their intellectual skills, you can create a really dynamic human being, and layer by layer you can make a better future for a child.
It sounds like you still have some interest in education.
I do have interest in education.
I'm hearing some passion.
Oh,
actually.
yeah, I definitely do. I mean, I think, though, I know that I'm pretty ambitious in terms of my passion, and I felt disconnected from my actual family. I have 2 children. I have a 9-year-old daughter named Amelie and a 4-year-old son named Jasper. And it was really engaging and fun to work with the kids, and it was challenging and thought-provoking to work with the adults. I really appreciate adult education a lot from that experience. Working in a private school, you work really closely with parents too, because they have a large investment in their education. They're paying for it. It's very expensive. So I learned how to work well with adults and children, and as an extrovert, it really fulfilled me and did a lot for me, and I liked it. But I also felt my physical body suffering. I felt the stress that it was weighing on me. My partner, she related to me at the time that she felt like she was the preacher's wife, that I was not present enough with my actual family, and I considered it, and it was true. I felt that too, and I really appreciate my own children and the time that I have with them.
Do you have some dreams for your own children?
Of course, yeah. For Amelie, I hope that she can find something that makes her feel calm and makes her feel centered and present. I know that she has a tendency to raise way up, and that is not always going to serve her well. She's got a lot of A-type personality traits and OCD traits. So I hope she finds something, or maybe even someone, that makes her happy, that makes her feel grounded and present. And I know a lot of what her mom and I do for her help her in the long run.
That way. I think. So you're looking for groundedness.
Yeah, for Amelie.
For her, and then your youngest child.
Jasper. I mean, I worry about you, Jasper. I gotta say, I do worry about you because you're so extroverted and you're so out there, and you're so sweet too. And I really hope that. I mean, you're so young too right now. It's hard to say what you need, but I think that you're going to do great things, and I think you're going to put yourself out there and really make a great future. But what I worry about most is the technology addiction and how engaging it is and how stimulating it is for children.
And it maybe disconnects us
and
from
adults.
Some
And I feel like it definitely does disconnect us. And it's really hard to make intentional changes, but I feel like it is possible to make changes and have a more fulfilling life.
Yeah. So if you could go back now, you've looked at your past dreams, you've looked at where you are right now. If you could go back to that 13-year-old Josh and whisper in his ear.
Is this a lens cover? Or
I don't think so. I'll take it though.
What would you?
Looked like it belonged on top of it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. What would you?
Well, what I would say to Josh is, man, it's so. If I had that DeLorean, if I had that time travel device, I would want to say a lot, I guess, but mostly that that it's okay to not succeed, that it's okay to have failures, and it's okay to feel loss, and it's okay to feel like it's not going to work out, because that's the first step in turning around and making it feel better again, really.
I've heard somebody say, fail early and fail often.
Yeah. But I mean, really getting back up to is the most important part. And it's really hard. I don't envy every time I find myself in that place. I don't think that it's ever going to be easy, but it does get a little easier every time it happens, in a way.
Yeah, I think that's I can relate to what you're saying.
Yeah, just be easy on yourself too.
Take it easy. It'll be.
Yeah, the world's hard enough. Be kind to yourself. Self-love.
Yeah. Well, we've talked for a little while here. I'm just wondering if there's something else that's come up for you.
I don't think so. I mean, obviously, I do feel passionate about education reform, something that I spent nearly a decade thinking about. And ultimately, maybe I would like to get back to that eventually, but I don't think that I need to judge myself hard or soft if I don't find myself back there again. I think the next adventure that I have is just going to be equally as awesome.
I think it is too.
Thanks.
I think the awesomeness isn't something that we create. I think awesomeness sometimes is what we are, and you seem to reflect
Thank
that
you.
kind of an image.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for interviewing me.
Okay. Bless you.